Truth, Money, and Freedom podcast.
Welcome to Truth, Money, and Freedom. Today is Friday, May 7th, 2021. Hey gang, I want to talk about Aaron Doerr and his association real quick, the Missouri Firearms Coalition. And in just a moment here, I'm going to play in its entirety a Facebook mention that Aaron Doerr had put up just this morning. And Aaron Doerr, by the way, is a very powerful member of our little group here that's trying to spread liberty and freedom throughout the United States through the Second Amendment Preservation Act in the state of Missouri. Yes, I know, another video about SAPA. It's important, though. We're almost over the finish line, gang, and we can't let up. So those of you watching these videos and participating in the process, thank you so much, because you are making the difference. Aaron has a large organization of people, too, that are actually making phone calls and sending out emails as well. And then, Ron Calzone does that as well. So it takes all of us, basically all of us who make these phone calls and send these emails and make visits to Jefferson City to make stuff like this happen. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and play Aaron's video. It's a Facebook mention from this morning, May 7th, 2021. Here it is.
Good morning, folks. Aaron Doerr here with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. And guys, we have some major news on HB 85, Second Amendment Preservation Act. And we're going to break that all down in this broadcast and let you guys get signed in here for a moment. Let the crowd build up for a moment. And then we're going to begin this broadcast. If you guys come on in here, let me know where you're watching from. Post your location in the comment section and someone give me a sound check. Then we're going to begin this broadcast. Again, some breaking and major news on HB 85, Second Amendment Preservation Act in Jeff City. We're going to discuss that in this broadcast, guys, and give you a major action step we need you to take right away. If someone could tell me, first of all, if you can hear me okay, I see a lot of folks getting signed on. Someone give me an audio check. I would appreciate that. And now I'll begin. Okay, Missy says, sounds good. Okay, good deal. First of all, I want to answer a question we've been getting from a lot of you guys over the last, what's it been, a week now, or 10 days, since we have put out an email. A lot of you have said, what's the updates? What's the news? Where are your emails? Folks, I'm going to tell you that about 10 days ago, we, the Missouri Firearms Coalition, and a bunch of other gun rights organizations that we are aware of, we were deplatformed and we lost our ability to do email about 10 days ago. The exact same email provider that deplatformed President Trump back in January, they deplatformed us about, I think it was about 10 days ago now. And we asked them what was the offensive speech. And they did not like the phrase defender of freedom. We used the word defender of freedom in an email, and they said that was inciting violence, and they shut down our email platform. No notice, no appeal, no way to do anything to get any of our stuff. We were just totally shut down. Now, we have backups on everything. Hell, we have backups of our backups of our backups, and we're probably going to be replatformed as early as tonight, if not in the next day or two, be back in the saddle. But we've had no ability to do email for about a week to 10 days. No, it's been 10 days, I believe now, because these SOBs hate the fact that gun rights organizations are talking about freedom. It's just that simple. So we're doing a Facebook Live video now in lieu of having a chance to do email. And the great news then is that House Bill 85, over the last 10 days of darkness from us on our email side, HB 85 did get out of committee last night. This is the House version. It's over in the Senate, and this bill will be up for a should be final floor debate and final floor vote early next week. Now, a lot of things could happen. We're surrounded by liars, cheats, and thieves in Jeff City, and so a lot of things can happen. This might blow up. We'll have to wait and see. But as of right now, and I'm sorry this road is so bumpy, my phone is hopping around like crazy. Let me try to change lanes. As of right now, this bill is slated for a final debate and final floor vote early next week. As you know, they had debate on this bill, a partial debate, a while back already. and it went fairly well. Senator Burleson is just a champion for freedom. Senator Burleson and Representative Jared Taylor have been the lions on the inside that have pushed this across not across the finish line yet, but pushed it right up to the finish line. And you guys then, by pummeling Senator Schatz in the Senate, have got us to where we are today. We're very close, but it's not a done deal yet. And your senator needs to hear from you. And I mean, again, now, today, we have a link above the broadcast. I would normally pin this for you in the comments, but I'm driving right now. So when I hang up the broadcast, hit the link above the video and send your pre-written email to your senator and tell him or her, I want you to vote yes on this bill next week when it comes up for a vote. And if you don't, I'm going to hold you accountable. And what's more, if your leadership, if you're a Republican in particular, if your leadership kills this bill and you don't do all that you can to fight for a vote on this, I'm going to hold you accountable for that as well. We can't blame, look, here's the bottom line. We can blame Democrats for everything that's happening in D.C. right now, all that's happening in Congress right now, but we can't blame Democrats in Missouri. I mean, they're an endangered species. We have a constitutional majority in both chambers. So if this bill dies, it's only because Senator Schatz and the rest of the moderates in Jeff City decided they did not want to have the vote. So that is your message to your senator, especially if he or she is a Republican. You don't want them to say, I support the bill, or, yeah, I'm pro-gun. Yeah, that's all noise. Are you going to vote for it? And that's what I want you to do. That's the standard. That's the least you can do is vote for the bill. And so it's been a huge fight getting us to where we are. It's been a huge fight to get here. And we're almost out of time. Session adjourns very, very quickly. This is our big shot to make this happen. Now, a bunch of states around us have passed versions of SAPA throughout this calendar year. I don't think any of them are as good. And I don't have any ego complex about our bill, but our bill has the most teeth of any version of SAPA that I am aware of in America at this time. And so if we can pass this version, if we pass this version of SAPA, this will be the roadmap for red states across the country going forward. So we need to pass HB 85, this version of it, this year, to send a message to Joe Biden and the radical left that you can do all the BS you want by executive actions and through legislation, if you can do anything at all, but it will not fly in Missouri because we're going to pass the Second Amendment Preservation Act and you can go choke on it. So, guys, that's where things are right now, and it's a very fragile situation. It's very fragile. We told you guys last time the bill was being held up because elements in the Republican caucus were trying to hold it hostage to extrapolate a gas tax vote out of the House. So there's a lot of moving parts. This is very dynamic. It's moving very quickly. So nothing is a done deal until these people adjourn, sine die, at the end of the session, which is coming up again very, very quickly. So keep the pressure up. Don't take anything for granted. Don't give them the benefit of the doubt. They haven't earned it, especially, I want to be clear on this. I want to be very clear on this. The Senate has not earned the benefit of the doubt. The Senate has not passed a gun bill since Barack Obama was in the White House. The Senate has been a problem for a very long time. But in the same breath, I gotta say, I'll give credit where it's due. The House is not the Senate. And the House leadership team, you guys know me. You've seen my videos for years. You've read our emails for years. I don't like giving credit to a lot of politicians. Most of them don't deserve it. But I gotta be honest here. House leadership has been aggressive on this. They've been nothing short of studious on getting this accomplished. They passed it in the House clear back in February, and the new speaker is not the same as the old speaker. and that's a great thing. That's a great thing. So we'll give credit where it's due in the House, but the Senate has been a problem for a very long time. Don't let up. Don't give them a break. Send your email to your senator right now. That link is above this video here. And then pick up the phone and call them. Call your senator next and say, you know, I want you on this bill. I want you to pass it. I want you to fight with your leadership, if necessary, to get a vote on this bill. And if this thing dies, we're not blaming Democrats, and we're damn sure not blaming the House. We're blaming Senate Republicans. That's your message. That's your message. Guys, if we pass this bill, for most situations, we are protected from federal tyranny when it comes to our gun rights. And if we pass this bill, red states across the country are going to look to Missouri as the roadmap for freedom. They're going to look to Missouri for how do we stop the federal behemoth. And this is how you do it. So guys, for anybody who's not sure what SAPA is, very quickly, this bill nullifies federal gun control. It tells the feds, it tells Joe Biden, it tells these people that if they pass federal gun control that violates Missouri law or use executive actions that violate Missouri law, that it doesn't matter, because in Missouri troopers, sheriff's deputies, and city cops may only enforce state law, not federal law, when it comes to the Second Amendment. When it comes to guns, when it comes to ammo, when it comes to accessories, only the laws of the state of Missouri are enforceable. That's it. That's it. And if we do that, then Biden can't touch it. Biden can't touch it. Could he send in federal, officers, federal marshals, to enforce federal gun control laws? Sure. But they could also send in the DEA to enforce federal drug laws, and they don't do that. Federal drug laws make it a crime to own or possess marijuana in any capacity, but hell, half the country now at the state level allows you to do that. The feds don't get involved. Could the feds have invaded liberal cities over the last couple of years and enforced President Trump's ban or eviction for violent illegal aliens? Yeah, they could have, but it didn't happen. It's not going to happen. For reasons of politics and reasons of just practical manpower issues, they will not do that. They don't have the manpower to do that. So if we pass SAPA, state law is all that our law enforcement officials can enforce. And all the crap that Biden wants to try to pass, tough shit. It's not going to work here in Missouri. Executive orders, it's not going to work here in Missouri. And again, this is based on hundreds of years of Supreme Court precedent. So if you're new to the idea of SAPA and you say, it can't be that easy, it is this easy. It is this easy. The Supreme Court has always held the states have the absolute right to have laws that contradict federal law, and where those two contradict, state law wins out. It's always been that way. Guys, we can do this. We're very close. A major thank you already, again, to the members of MOFC. You guys have been pummeling the legislature with your calls and emails. Keep it up. Email your senator right away. A huge thank you to you guys for all you've done so far, and a major thank you to Representative Jared Taylor and Senator Eric Burleson, who have fought so hard to get us where we are in this fight. Keep it up. Share this video. Get your friends involved as well. We'll keep you guys informed. Thank you.
Okay, so now that you know a couple of things that were going on in the background, well, you may not have heard so much from Aaron Dorr, especially in the last 2 weeks. He was deplatformed on his automated server. Not only him, but others as well, particularly those who are involved in the fight for your gun rights across the United States of America. So I'm very happy that Aaron put out a video that so succinctly said we do have problems in the Missouri Senate, because I don't want people to get the impression that Missouri politics is without its issues, its problems. We do have senators that become problems from time to time, and we'll deal with that later. There are people keeping a naughty and nice list right now. I'm one of them. But there are others. Aaron Dorr definitely keeps one. And but it's not just senators, it's sheriffs. And we'll delve into that when we're done with the legislative season. So what I'd like to do today, first of all, I will have linked down below, by the way, Aaron Dorr's website, which is the Missouri Firearms Coalition. You can create a membership there. You can actually use the automated system to send out emails on hot topics having to do with gun rights in the state of Missouri. So at any rate, I know I've talked about him before, but it's been a while, so I needed to give Aaron a little bit of love and let him know how much we appreciate everything he does. Okay, next on the list here, this is HB 85. This is the bill we definitely want to run through. It's already gone through a perfection process, so basically I think this is the best way to go. And I wanted to show you guys something that just showed up this morning, placed on informal calendar. And what I believe that means is it could basically come up, pretty much at any time, whenever there's a free space or whatever. It could actually come up for debate and even a vote. So so it's going to have to be sometime next week. I mean, that's the end of the legislative season is next Friday. So I'll tell you what, I am pushing real hard. I don't know that this is going to pass. I don't know that to be a fact. I'm going to keep working this as hard as I can because this legislation is important to me. In fact, I'm going up to Jefferson City on Tuesday. And Tuesday would be, the 11th. The 11th of May, I'll be up in Jeff City. There's a strong possibility Jimmy D will be up there as well. Ron Calzone will certainly be up there. And we're going to go knock on doors. And we're going to talk to senators. And we're going to go ahead and show our support for SAPA at this final moment here. And make sure that the senators know we mean business. We want this bill. The people have spoken, but there's still a call to action, gang. And that is basically, first off, I want to thank everyone who's been calling Senator Crabcakes. I'm sorry, Senator Huff. But we don't need to call him anymore. He's released the bill, and that actually happened on the 6th. He had a public hearing, executive session, voted due pass, reported due pass. So it has now been passed out of his committee, and it's been placed on an informal calendar, which means we don't need to call Dave Schatz or Caleb Rowden anymore either, other than if they're your senators and you want to have them support SAPA. There's no other reason to call them, gang. We got released out of committee, and we're on the informal calendar. So this has been done. I don't know when this is going to happen, gang, but Monday is a little bit problematic for me to get up to Jeff City. Tuesday's a better day for me, and it's good with Jimmy D. I just called him, so that's when we're going up. You're welcome to join us. We'll set up Eric Burleson's office as our meeting place. Say, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. It takes me 3 hours and 15 minutes to get there from my house. So, but at any rate, Eric Burleson's office, it's my senator, we'll go ahead and meet at his office. I haven't even talked about poor Eric. He doesn't know that I'm using his office again. But it's time to knock on some doors and show some support for SAPA. So Tuesday's the day I think I need to be up there. You guys are welcome to join. Anyone who has the time to go to Jeff City, please join us on Tuesday. It's a commitment. I'm going to be there. And if, some weird squirrely thing happens where I can't, I'll let you know that in advance as well. But I'm going. So, and Ron Calzone is up there 5 days a week right now trying to get this taken care of. Ron Calzone, he never sleeps. So, okay, so we got that covered. So the call to action is very simple. As far as HB 85, call your senator, just your senator, and email your senator this weekend, please. So one last final show of support going into next week, so that when they come in Monday morning, they see their constituents still want this. So let's, call up your senator, just your senator, and email your senator as well. Do both. That's what I'm asking you to do to help support the Second Amendment Preservation Act. So that's it. That's all, gang. And then Tuesday, the final push. I'm going up there, and I am going to meet with as many senators as possible. Even Senator Crabcake. I'd love to meet him. So at any rate, so I'll be up there Tuesday. And that is probably the final call to action. This weekend, email and call your senator to support SAPA. And then also, if you have time, come up and join the party on Tuesday next week. We'll go ahead and do a knock and shock. Let's go ahead and meet with every senator possible, physically make an appearance, and tell them we want SAPA and we want it now. So let's do that. Okay, I'm also going to be hitting one more time on the PDMP bill, the Prescription Drug Monitoring Program. And I'm sorry to bring up yet another bill, but this one's kind of important. Although my gut tells me that this will be rejected in the House in a straight-up vote. But we don't know that. Let's assume that a lot of our representatives actually don't know what the HIPAA regulations are. We know what the bill says. SB 63, the PDMP bill. We know the language of it. But they left that snippet in there that they're going to comply with HIPAA regulations. Well, HIPAA regulations say that your prescriptions go into the database, and that database is used for criminal background checks, and criminal background checks are used when you buy a gun from an FFL in the state of Missouri. It's a backdoor into red flag laws. So we need to shut it down. So what I'm asking everyone to do beyond calling and emailing your senator to show support for SAPA in Missouri is actually call up your representative, whoever your representative is, and also send them an email asking them to vote no on SB 63, the PDMP bill. So that's what I'm asking for. I'm going to try and close it up here real quick. Gang, final stretch here. This is the final stretch. This has been a long race. There's been a lot of work that has gone into this. And I'm sorry I have to keep playing as though we're losing. I think we're doing okay, but it's the Missouri Senate. You never know what's going to happen. There's some wild cards in there in the Republican Party. Aaron Dorr talked about that in his video. This is a fact. I know this as well. So the House is much, much, much more conservative and much more stable than the Senate is. So let's call our senators. Let's email them. Support SAPA. Let's call and email our representatives to say no on SB 63, the PDMP bill. And this is the last time I'll bug you this weekend here. I want you all to have a one. Oh, by the way, we are getting back to some videos here for Truth, Money, and Freedom real quick, going back to the finance stuff, particularly on the inflation issue. So basically, and it'll probably be a roundtable discussion right out of our server in Discord. I know you guys like those. It's time that we, shake it up a little bit and go back to what we have been doing for years, informing people and giving real good group discussions on what's going on in the economy. But I thank you all for participating and helping us out. Those of you who are calling, emailing, visiting, writing letters, physical letters, to participate in SAPA, I think you guys are the reason why we're in as good a shape as we are right now. That is my honest-to-God opinion. This is a grassroots thing, guys. This was totally grassroots. We had the Missouri Sheriff's Association come down on us. They didn't want this bill. Half of the sheriffs of Missouri don't want this bill. A lot of senators don't want this bill, to be frank. But they have to succumb at some point to the will of the people. And it's those of you who have actually been partaking in this and telling your representatives and telling your senators you want this bill is why we're in as good a shape as we are right now. But guys, I can't afford to think that way. I'm going to keep fighting. That's why I'm going up to Jeff City, which I promised to do earlier this year. I'm going up to Jeff City on Tuesday, and I'm doing knock and shock. We're knocking on every senator's door. We're going to shake their hand. We're going to tell them why they need to vote yes on SAPA. That's what we're doing. Those of you who can join us, we'd love to have you. Ron Calzone will be there as well. We'll meet at Burleson's office. So, all right, I'll probably put out a video on Monday to remind everyone about what's going on Tuesday. So you guys, until then, you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you again for everything you guys have done to help promote basically your Second Amendment rights in the state of Missouri, taking it back from the federal government, using anti-commandeering doctrine to actually support your rights, rather than waiting for the federal government to actually let you have your rights. Because right now it looks like they don't want you to have them anymore. Missouri's doing something about it. If you're in a state that doesn't have this, you can actually put this into your own legislation just by talking to a representative or senator. Contact me through the channel here if you need help getting started. Also, if you're in a state that has this, and you've identified someone who's like me pushing it in their state, please let me know that as well. I may end up setting up a second channel. Rather than continue using the Truth, Money, and Freedom platform, I may set up a separate channel to help support the other states in their SAPA movements as well. This is important, gang. We all need this. Again, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for putting up with me with such a long video. Thank you for watching Aaron Doerr's video, by the way. You guys have a great weekend. May God bless each and every one of you. Take care, gang.